UMass Lowell Hockey Riverhawks head to the TD Garden. Friday night it is the Hockey East Championship semifinal. UMass Lowell will take on the University of Notre Dame. That's a 5 o'clock start. The late game, the other semifinal, finds Providence taking on the University of New Hampshire. We're joined by Riverhawk defenseman, one of the alternate captains, junior defenseman, Zack Kamrass. And Zack, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, the pleasure is ours, as I like to say. Fun playoff. I mean, playoff hockey may be pressure, but it's fun as well, I got to think.
Best time of the year. I mean, everybody's fighting for a championship. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal. But I don't know. I think everything's heightened. There's a lot more.
Is there more pressure?
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, it's more physical play. The games are quicker. It's one and done from here on out. So everybody's backs against the wall. But that goes for both teams playing in the game. So I think it's just a heightened sense of everything. I mean,
the team seems to respond well in low-scoring, tight games. And I commented to Norm Bates, the head coach, that I was impressed with the poise shown. You guys seem very comfortable when it's 3 minutes to go, you're up by a goal, and the other team's applying pressure.
I think that has to do with confidence in each other. I mean, we know we have a set game plan. We know we have our systems in place. So it's just a matter of staying with the game plan and having trust in each other.
All right, we go to the Garden. You're a kid from Atlanta. I don't know if the TD Garden had particular meaning to you. Last year when you went, was there a wow moment?
I mean, obviously, it's a cool experience. You're playing at an NHL venue. You're playing for the first championship for the the organization, the school. It's just it's obviously a really cool experience. I think just the first little skate around on the ice when you get out there and you're shooting pucks, you're just kind of obviously in the back of your mind you're like, wow, I'm out here. The same guys 2 nights ago, that are playing the NHL were out here too. So, I mean, for that aspect, it's it's pretty remarkable.
As you mentioned, you're skating last year for the school's first championship. Is the second championship, is it different when you are the defending champ as opposed to looking for your first championship? Or, hey, it's hockey, it's another game, and it's the hardware season?
I mean, a little bit of everything. Obviously, it's not the first anymore, but it's a whole new team, it's a whole new year, so it's a new group of guys you want to experience it with. So for some guys, it is a first. I mean, it's something cool because you have to defend the title, but at the same time, you're just as likely as winning it as the other 3 teams that are in it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you obviously have to work hard again, and it's just nice because you get to experience with a new group of guys.
Well, then let me ask you, what separates winners from losers? Is there something that winners do that losers don't do, or do winners just do something better?
That's a loaded question. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a matter of trusting in your teammates in this game. I mean, you have to have all the faith in the world in them that they're going to do their job for you and you're going to do your job for them. So I think it's just the camaraderie amongst the group that that we call a family, and I think that's what separates a winning team from a losing team.
You mentioned that word family, and my observation watching this team, this is as closely knit a squad, and last year certainly was closely knit, so maybe I'm looking at over a series of years, but this is an extremely closely knit group of young men.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning of the year, we obviously all try and do team building activities and stuff, but I think the more you play with each other, the more the old saying, blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, once that stuff goes into it, the longer you go, and the deeper games get, and the more you want to win for everybody else in the team, on the team and in the locker room. So I think it's just kind of a building thing, and it always continues to build, especially with the more the older guys, the older you get, and obviously the upperclassmen, you want to win for each other, and then kind of set that standard for the younger guys.
I've heard you mention it at times when we've done radio interviews. I've heard Josh Holmstrom mention that everybody holds everybody else accountable and expects to be held accountable by each of their teammates. What's accountability mean to you?
I mean, just doing what your job is, and not taking any shortcuts. I think if you say you're going to do something, you got to do it, and everybody has their own job and they know that, and without guy A pulling his weight, then the rest of the squad's going to it's going to falter a little bit. So I think just doing your job and sticking to your word.
Shame on me, but I'm going to ask, as we talk about team being close in this, I'm going to ask you an individual question. But it seems as though this year you've added elements to your game that weren't necessarily, not that they weren't there in the past, but they weren't as well defined or as well developed. You've added an offensive side to the game that's resulted in, I think, team-leading number of assists, a couple of goals as well, but you've added an offensive dimension. Was that something by intent, or is that more maybe just the natural progression of your growth as a hockey player?
Well, that's an interesting stat. I didn't actually know that myself. So.
Well, I try occasionally to throw things in there to keep you off guard, but the point is the same regardless of the numbers, and that is this is a dimension in your game that's developed more this season.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I obviously try to work on. Working on my shot, and I think it's just part of the progression. I think, like you said, it's it's nice to help contribute, but I mean, at the end of the day, if we win, that's all I'm really concerned about, to be honest. But I mean, yeah, I guess the biggest thing, it could just be part of the progression.
I guess finally, as much as we talk about playing Notre Dame or playing a BC or whoever, I hear repeatedly, it's not about them. It's about us. It's about us doing our job. Are we doing our job, you think, as well as we can do it? Can we play better hockey than we've played?
Sure, I think so. I think we could. I think a complete 60 minutes would be, stellar. I think, we're a good team when we play the full 60, or if it goes in overtime, even, whatever length after that. I think the biggest thing for us is just make sure we're foot on the gas pedal all the time, attacking and, sticking to our systems and, not getting too flustered by what any other team does.
Fair enough. Zack, Kamrass, foot on the gas pedal. Let's go get them Friday night. Let's play for a championship on Saturday night.
Absolutely.
That is Riverhawk defenseman, one of the alternate captains. That is Zack Kamrass. And again, the Riverhawks take on the University of Notre Dame Friday night, 5 o'clock at the TD Garden. The winner moves on to the championship game Saturday night down in Boston. We thank you for joining us.